On this very romantic Valentine's Day in the studio, I thought it only appropriate to explore the relationship between our springs. And today we're going to be having a very connected spring class, bringing them close together throughout our workout on the springboard. Hello everyone, welcome back into the studio. Today we are working with connected springs on the springboard. Okay, so we're gonna start out with what might be footwork for reformer, where we press off the foot bar. We're gonna have that same kind of connection and sensation, working with the springs connected together and both feet attached to them. Rather than working on individual springs, they're both operating together, bringing the weight of those two springs together and changing the way that we use our body when using them. So we're gonna start out at a level 2. And we've got both of our foot straps on and they are connected to both springs. So really important when setting this up is that you don't want one foot strap to be connected to both the springs and the other one's only connected to one, so they feel kind of uneven. So what I do with my clips is I actually put my foot loops together and then both of those springs connect onto both of those together. So I just line them up and clip them onto both sides. So when you do that, you should be able to pull and they should be even rather than them being slightly staggered, right? Makes sense? So that's important for how we're gonna be working with these today. Okay, let's go ahead and lie down on the mat. Now these are pretty low, so you're probably gonna have to hang on to them. Slip your head underneath. And we're gonna place those loops on. And then we're gonna press out a good arm's length distance from the springboard. From here, we're gonna bring our feet into a V. So heels are connected together, toes are turned outward, and we're flexing actively through the heels, coming into frog, pressing straight out into that frog and returning back in. We're really feeling this differently through our core when we're using the springs like this and when they're so low on our springboard. Two more. Good, now lift those legs straight up. Now we're gonna stay in that V with the feet and we're gonna stay flexed through the feet here as well. Lower and lift. You might feel a bigger stretch at the top with that flex through the heel. One last one right here. Good, lift those feet back up 90 degrees. Now we're gonna point actively through those toes. Heels are still together in that V. Toes pointed now as we lengthen away and lift up. So we're gonna feel this differently throughout the muscles, which is why it's important in Pilates that we are either in a pointed toe or a flexed foot. We're never in dead foot, just kind of like neutral hanging out in the middle. We're always one or the other, and it changes the way that our muscles lengthen and work. Good, lifting up. Now we're gonna bend the knees in and we're gonna come parallel through the feet. So not only are they gonna be parallel, toes facing up, I'm also gonna take them out wide so they're about the width of my knees here. Now I'm gonna feel that tautness between the springs where they're connected. I can't reach out too far, so I'm just gonna go to my max place where I'm gonna be pushing out. So I'm activating those muscles as I'm pushing out. And then I'm gonna press my feet out. I'm flexed through the heels. You'll see my feet are kind of like bouncing as they're pulling on those springs and coming out. Doesn't look super level, and I'm working hard to press them out the entire time. Feels like you've thrown a resistance band on the legs that you're pushing out against, taking it here. 2 more. Nice. Now lifting those legs up to the sky. We're going to keep that flexed foot and we're going to pull the feet out the entire time. Press into those foot straps and we're going to lower down with a flexed heel and lift back up. I have to slow my pace with these. Good, now let's point through those toes again. We'll give a little break here, a little rub through. We're gonna separate the feet about hip distance apart. Point through those toes, press the hands into the springboard and take down and up, feeling slightly different with those toes pointed. Keep going. And one more right here. Good. Bring those legs down, relax for just a minute. All right, now we're gonna take those legs for some circles. Obviously, they're not going to separate and circle around. You're gonna have to go together. So we're gonna think about doing a little semicircle. We're gonna start with the legs going straight down, and then I'm gonna circle off. So I'm really just drifting my legs off to the right and circling back up to the center. Now let's take straight down, circle off to the left, back around, straight down through the center. Press through those hands. Try to secure your body while you're twisting out to the side. Nice. Reminds me of some of the feelings that we experience in the mat hip twist here. Keep those shoulders stable. We're gonna take 2 more. Down, down to the left. Sorry, 3 more. Down to the right. And down and to the left. Now let's reverse that motion, circling down and bringing straight up. So we're going to twist the legs off to the right, circle around and up, now to the left. Make sure that you're still pushing out of your arms on that springboard, or if your springboard has a dowel at the bottom, you're holding on to that. So you're not sliding into the board. Two more. To the right and up and to the left and up. Good. Now we're going to think about making that less of a semicircle or half circle and more of a full circle. So we're going to circle down, out, around, and up to the left. Then we're going to reverse and go in the other direction, coming down to the left, up, around to the right. Really have to stabilize through the core here. Don't let the springs pull you anywhere. You pull and control them. So it's more like an oval here. And you can think about breathing on that exertion when you're pressing down, then switch to a little inhale at the center and then an exhale exertion as you're coming back up, switching directions each time. We've got one more circle going to each side. Whew, and bend those legs in, relax those arms. Next, we're gonna get into some supine core work. We're gonna be using same springs with the same attachments, but we're going to bump them up to a level 4. So we're coming up 2 on the board. Then lying back down, we're gonna grab a hold of those loops, one in each hand. Now, we're gonna just pull lightly on the springs so we can feel that resistance in them. Right here, we're gonna float up both knees at the same time. And then we're going to peel up head, neck, and shoulders and press those springs over top of the legs. Then release the upper body and release the legs back down. If you need to scoot away from your springboard to get more of a pull, go ahead and do that. Again, floating up the knees. Exhale, pulling up. Release the upper body. Release those toes back down towards the mat. Really make sure that you're holding onto a neutral spine. So if you lose neutral when you pick up the knees, or if you flare as you're coming back down, this will be losing neutral spine. Then float down one leg at a time, and same thing with lifting them up. But we do want that coming down and coming back up. So strong exhale, pulling up, inhale to prepare, exhale, press, lower down, and bring the feet down. Keep going. Two more. Good, bringing those feet down. Now we're going to be lifting both the upper body and the lower body at the same time. Inhaling to prepare, strong exhale. Press those springs, lift the legs, and then release everything back down. Take your time with bringing the lower body back down so you're not flaring or losing neutral right here. Strong exhale, and then releasing back down. Two more. Good. Bring those springs off to the side. We're going to come to standing and get into those arms and upper body. Standing up, facing your board, we're going to grab those springs. They're still set to a level 4, and we're stepping away from the board. One hand is holding each loop, and right here we're going to row, pull in towards the sternum, keeping those elbows tight to the body, and then release back to the springboard. Good. Let's involve the lower body a little bit more in this. We're gonna step those feet a little just off the mat. They're gonna come wide and we're gonna turn those toes out. We're gonna go into a plie right here. So we're gonna bend straight down, keeping the hips underneath the shoulders as we pull in, and then we're gonna release it all up at the top. Bringing down and lifting. You may find once you bring it down, you want a little bit more resistance. You can step back and away a little bit more. Good. Stepping in, we're gonna come unclip those springs and take them all the way up to the top of your springboard. Right here, we're gonna bring the feet into a Pilates V. Give yourself just an arm length distance from the springboard. And we're gonna go into tricep extensions. Pull the elbows into the body, and we're gonna press those arms down straight and then release the hands back up. Strong exhale on that press. Inhale on the release. One more. Good. And release those straps. Good. I wanted to keep things nice and brief today so you can have a good, solid workout in less than 20 minutes. But if you've got a longer period of time, feel free to take all these exercises through in a circuit. So you'll just start over and come back through one more time all of those exercises, or maybe even 2 more times through all of those. I hope that you've been feeling the love with our connected springs, and I'll see you guys next time in the studio.